Hey guys, this is Jax. I just did an interview with my lifetime homie, Zach Sang. We talked about TikTok. We talked about original songs. We talked about some history, some playing shows, and I'm really excited for you to see it. Whoop, whoop. Is this like present tense, or past tense? Okay, we're done. It's over. I did it.
Yo, beautiful human. It is the Zach Sang Show coming to you live right now on AMP. Dan's here, I'm here, and we welcome Jax to the studio.
What up?
Yeah.
It's working.
It's definitely working.
We got it.
Yeah, you were loud and clear, sis.
That was my nickname in high school.
Loud and clear?
Loud and clear.
You didn't make it through much of high school, right?
No, I didn't go to high school.
No, you were homeschooled at 7th grade?
You can't tell. I haven't made eye contact with anyone once here.
Is that a way to tell if somebody's homeschooled? Is that like a clear tell?
I don't know. Just like severe awkwardness. Like just filling dead spaces way too much. Laughing at funerals. I feel like maybe that's just me. But
Yeah, but you were able to find love. You have a boyfriend.
Who was also homeschooled, so it makes a lot of sense. So yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting. Do you think homeschoolers are attracted to one another?
Now I do. I didn't really think about it until this moment, but probably actually. I found him very attractive because he was just away from everything, not wanting to be part of something. We met on set, and I was part of this like music video, a big music video with a bunch of friends or whatever it was, and he was directing it, and he had zero interest. Like I could just see him on the way across the yard, just why am I here energy. And I was like, I like him. Why am I here?
So who makes the first move?
Oh my God. I made the first move like aggressively, but I was there at the time with my gay best friend who was super hot, and so was his boyfriend, and I was walking around with his like GQ model boyfriend at the time, like holding hands with the guy because like we're very close. And I went right up to Brave and I was like, hey, like I'm new here. You should show me around, like any cool bars, like let's go out. And I'm like totally aggressively hitting on him. And he's like looking at me. And then like the guy I'm holding hands with and me, he's like, she's psychotic. Like she's just like blatantly asking me out in front of her boyfriend. So yeah, it took a minute to realize he wasn't my boyfriend, but.
And this was very pre-TikTok fame.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. We went through so many years. We were just laughing about like I just purchased my first house.
Congratulations.
So it was really, really cool. And like we bought the ugliest house in the nicest block.
That's the trick, right?
Flipped it ourselves in a matter of 8 weeks. So did not consider, because I have like for TikTok I have influencers coming in and out like every day. So when we were flipping it, like it was just pure rubble. Like you don't understand. We were living in rubble, like piles of glass and shards and the wood and the floor. We ripped the floors up, the paint, that we knocked the kitchen out. We did it all ourselves, like just the two of us.
What?
Yeah, like nuts. And then the only thing we didn't do ourselves was install the countertops because we couldn't. So we just had a counter guy do that. But other than that, all us. And most people, like normal people, would take some time to do that. It would have probably been a year process at least. Which we did in 8 weeks because I was like scared I was going to get sued when people were coming over because they were like children, like literally like freaking Harry Jowsey was there and there was just one table and that was it in the house. Like I had to do a brand thing once where I had to eat nachos and we didn't have a kitchen. So I made nachos on the toilet, like fake prop nachos. It was just gross. But anyway, we were just talking about how like our first apartment was literally in a Tommy's Burgers parking lot, like in North Hollywood, and just so gross, but like we had the most epic times there. It was literally 700 square feet, no central air. There was like a time where I had Natasha Bedingfield there and I was freaking out that she was like in our apartment. I was embarrassed because it looks like a motel, right? And then I'm like, oh, but we did it, and we're turning the air on and off because you hear it in the camera when you film the TikToks. So we're sweating, right? I see drips of sweat down Natasha Bedingfield's face, and then she's talking to me about some ideas, and I like look behind her and I see this giant roach like on the white wall, and I was like, oh God, there's a roach on the wall right now, really, like right now. Natasha Bedingfield, and she goes to turn around. I'm like, ah! She's like, we just keep talking about all your ideas. Like, don't look behind you, please. But now here we are. We did it.
By the way, we're talking to TikTok superstar Jax. Is it weird to hear TikTok in your title?
Yeah, totally. I like if people come up to me and they go, "Aren't you JaxWritesSongs?" Like that's like my full name. I'm like, "Yep, that is the birth certificate." And just JaxWritesSongs. It's weird.
Is it weird that this has been your gateway, your kind of entrance, your like intro into great success? Like, because you've been making music
since I was a child. Yeah.
And like very few people out there have watched you from that long.
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
Might just be you, really. You really just stuck around. By very few people, it's you and my mom.
Yeah, me and your parents.
Yeah, exactly.
You've been coming on our show.
Yeah, since I was a child.
I mean, I'll be celebrating 15 years in July.
What?
And I think you've been coming on for maybe 12 years.
Mazel tov.
Thank you. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, same to you.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a crazy thing. It's cool. It's cool, like, not putting out music onto deaf ears. Like, now people are listening, and that's just, now I could do this for a living, so it's cool.
Yeah, but you didn't stop. And that's what I mean.
I was very broke.
We're going to dive into a bunch, but
Yeah.
like, your consistency was extraordinary. And real talk, like, I've watched you literally perform shows to almost no one.
Zero.
And I had seen you do shows for years and years, and tiny shows. And I always thought you were incredibly talented. I was like, I think she'll probably make it. I think she'll make it. I think she'll make it. And then there was one show in Kearney, New Jersey that you did at like some like VFW hall. And there may have been, I don't know, maybe 7 people there. But you performed that motherfucker like it was Madison Square Garden. And it was
very extra.
in that moment, I was like, yo, she's going to be a superstar.
Aww.
Like that moment where it was just you on stage.
I'm trying to remember this show.
I mean, it was, sis, so Kearney, New Jersey, so little. Again, 7 people were there.
I believe it.
But it was like you were playing MSG or Radio City Music Hall. And I was like, yo, in that moment, I was like, oh, sister's going to be a superstar.
Oh, thank you. I'm just like, close your eyes, close your eyes. There's more than 7 people here. Just manifest it.
What keeps you going? I mean, you knew that you were meant to do this.
I mean, like, there is a difference in motivation, I think, when you come out here on your own. Like, I grew up doing music and writing songs, so I always had the support of my parents, and, like, they were always super supportive of me. So, like, I never really understood what it was to, have to survive as a songwriter and also pay rent and buy groceries and all that. And I just I got, like, sick for a while, and then I kind of just, like, ripped off that Band-Aid. I was like, okay, I have $30 in my bank account and I'm moving to Los Angeles and just did it. So that just the money alone, like, was a different type of hustle. Just learning how to write songs for money, not just for myself. So, like, being in the studio twice a week, every day a week, writing a bajillion songs, hoping that some celebrity cuts it. And then you get, like, 1 cut a year that maybe pays you rent for, like, a couple of months, So it was that alone was a different type of hustle coming out here. Just a little bit of a panic. Mm-hmm. And then I think also the other elements, I don't really have any other skill sets other than writing songs and singing them. So here we are.
But was coming out to LA a part of your goals, or was it what happened to you in the
I feel
with
like
your
it's
health?
probably like you too. Like just you knew that it was all here. Like at a certain point, New York became very corporate on the music side. Like there was a scene growing up of songwriters
totally
and producers, like, like Lars and Allie and all those, like, and Guns in that world, all of them. That was like, this was our circle of people. And then very, very quickly, everybody migrated to LA. So I was like, I guess I got to give this a go and be around people that are, like, way better than I am and learn. So it was basically like a decision of, like, I can't be in Jersey and New York anymore. There's nothing really going on. I'm not challenged. So, but yeah, it had something to do with being sick. Like, I got super depressed emotionally. I had no drive to do. I was just sad in my little pocket. So I just had to, I always found that when I forced myself to be uncomfortable is when things go well. So I was very uncomfortable, but we did it.
I mean, sis, you battled thyroid cancer.
It's true. Twice around.
I mean, that's not a joke.
No, it wasn't. It was like, that was the hardest part about the cancer, because it was when you get stuck in this mindset that you're sick, it's just a big cloud of darkness, and that recovery I couldn't sing. But that's what started my songwriting process, because I couldn't sing, but I could still write. So I was writing for other people. That's how I started writing for people other than myself. And I was like, wait, I can go to Hollywood and like make a living doing this, which is like very much not true. I was like, I couldn't make a great living doing it. I was technically, but it was hard, because there are songwriters that are meant to do that for other people, and then there are the artists. And I definitely missed writing for myself. So after I was fully recovered in a good place, I started just making my own music again. So
how does that change your outlook on life? Because I mean, overcoming cancer of any kind is monumental and massive and taxing and emotional, not just for you, for everybody around you too.
Exactly. That was the big thing. Like at the time I think the first time I got it, I was 19. Oh yeah, 19. And I was on and off tour, playing out shows and trying to stay busy. And I was not concerned at all. Like they honestly, when they caught it, they told me it was like a sinus infection. So I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like I've been nonstop and I always get sinus infections. And then I thought like, wait, I got like 10 sinus infections this year. Like that's actually a lot. And then my mom had forced the issue. I was at an urgent care back and forth from LA. And she was like, can we just like triple check on this? Like just to make sure it's a sinus infection. And they did like an ultrasound. It was covered. So we got very lucky that my mom like insisted on checking it out. But
you were also, your grandfather had it.
Yeah, at the same time that I had it. So it was like, didn't make any sense. Like there was no way that I would have gotten it at 19. He was like in his late 70s getting it, you know. That was like the normal time to get that if I was gonna. So there is like the element of it being genetic, and I'm sure that on top of all the stress and just trying to hustle, make it in music, like it was a wake up call on how to treat my body and my mental health, how to take breaks, how to eat right, you know, surround myself with better energy, you know.
Do you look for a reason as to why you get cancer? Like, is that a part of overcoming this thing, is trying to find out why you?
At the time, for sure. Like at the time, I went through all those phases. Like it started with the initial shock and the terror, like the terror in my family, just everybody. I don't know, just
I know your family, so I can see
they're
that.
really emotional people, and I'm like I'm like the Chandler Bing, like the crack jokes to make everybody feel better in dark situations. So is my brother. So we were kind of making light of it, but until we couldn't, like until it was like getting closer to the surgery and the radiation and stuff like that, and you get kind of super freaked out. And then definitely go through that dark phase where you're like, what did I do to deserve this? Like, what could I have done better? The shitty part about, am I allowed to say that? About thyroid cancer is that there's no real link to and like why it would happen physically. A lot of it's just genetics. A lot of it, they say stress, but there's no real answer. There's no phases of the cancer. They're not like, oh, this is stage 4, this is whatever. It's a super curable cancer, and super treatable if not. So at the time, it was a lot of like, should I be vegan? Should I be like only drinking alkaline water? Should this and that? And then is it the way I treated people? You go through like the spiritual thing. You're like, is it because I was mean to so-and-so, or I broke this heart? Isn't that, this is my karma? And it's psychological. It took a lot of therapy to like figure out shit just happens, you know?
Yeah. Sometimes you get dealt a hand.
And you figure it out.
Yeah.
And but looking back, it was an incredible thing to have happened to me because A, it taught me to be a better songwriter. So it like opened up this whole other life for me. And B, I'm like super duper conscious of my body now, just every little thing. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Was there a fear you wouldn't be able to sing again after having the surgery?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cause with my grandfather's surgery, they messed up cause it's the vocal cords lie right over the thyroid, like within centimeters. So something happened. I because of that, we like found the best surgeon in the world to do this surgery, but they tweaked something and he literally can't talk anymore. That's it, like forever.
What?
Like it's a mess up in the surgery. So it was like, if that was the real panic, like, am I going to wake up and not be able to sing or talk ever again? So it was like,
Oh my God.
not only is it like you're stressing about cancer existing in your body, but then you're like, wait, if this works out, will I have a career? And the recovery process was stressful. Like I was going to my coach at the time, and then I was relearning how to sing and use those muscles. It's actually pretty funny. Like when you could see the scar here, but like when they slit my throat, I guess like the nerve here messes with your facial nerves and everything like that. So like for a couple of months when I would eat food, I would miss my mouth like entirely.
Oh, no.
Or like brush my teeth, I just like hit my face with it. My brother loved that part. He's like, "You're doing great, Jax, really."
So how long from the surgery till you were able to sing again?
A couple months, really. Like fully, I actually do feel like there was a minor effect on my voice. I feel a little raspier than before the surgery, like long term, which is cool.
Yeah.
Can't complain. It's rock and roll. I always wished for a little raspier voice anyway. I was always like forcing that rasp, but now it's just there.
No, shout out to the cancer, right?
Yeah, shout out to the cancer. Thank you so much. Just want to thank all my red blood cells.
So dark.
It's so dark.
But also, like, please be aware of your body. I mean, that is an important
Yeah.
message to get out there. And it's scary to go to the doctor, especially if you notice something or if you see something. But
Yeah.
at the same exact time, like, that's what saves your life.
Yeah, I'd always say, like, looking back, always force the issue. I've been the most annoying patient since then. Like, every doctor just, like, dreads me coming in because I'm always freaking out. Like, that was the one, like, traumatic thing about getting it was that multiple doctors had told me there's no way, right? So, like, now every time I go into a doctor and I'm like, oh, I feel something here. I feel something here. I'm not feeling too hot. They're like, nah. I'm like, well, yes.
Yeah.
Told me that last time.
But see, making mistakes like that sows doubt.
Yeah.
And that is terrifying.
That's what probably took. I was never a hypochondriac before, and now I definitely am. Every little thing. Like, cancer.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that hyper awareness is, I mean, vital.
Yeah. You just have to have the balance. You have to have someone in your life being like, all right,
Relax.
like, it's fine. You're fine. You're healthy.
And you obviously grow closer to your boyfriend, but no, this is after that. But you meet him here, but you literally start with nothing,
Yeah.
and now you have everything that you've been working for.
It's cool.
I mean, Jax, like for like a dozen years,
Yeah.
like I think even longer.
Probably. Yeah.
You've been working at this longer than I think anybody else I know,
Oh. Well,
and to see you make
me
it.
too.
To see you make it has been, I would listen to your songs, Ring Pop, I used to play it all the time. I mean, I'd cry because I remember, I mean, we share so many memories together,
Oh, yeah.
like the most.
Oh, yeah.
You used to come and do my show and nobody else would come and do my show.
Yeah, we loved it. Like I was in bands growing up as a kid, and we were like so many like little pop punk things. And every time there was a Zach Sang thing, it was Goom Radio. At
Yeah,
first. It
baby.
was like everything. We would get so hyped. Like we had like meet and greets and stuff.
Yeah, we used my studios for literally anything.
Like pizza parties, you name it, it was happening.
And
like
you wrote a jingle for my show
oh yeah,
years and years and years ago at a time where I needed it so vitally, and I definitely still have it somewhere.
I
So maybe
know
I'll
it.
stick it in
Let's
here.
hear
is
it.
it?
You really shut up.
Na, 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 na.
You shouldn't know it.
Zach Sang's coming in with a bang,
You're
spinning
close.
uber
Yeah.
sick tunes on the air. We got Shelly, Craig, and Hef, and celebrity guest. Zach is coming at you with his flippy hair.
Yes.
Twitter.com/Zach Sang. One Zach Sang is what you want to hear.
I'm sweating. That's exactly.
I'm sweating. I have like a weird memory with lyrics. I like remember all of them from every time I write something.
How do you remember that?
Da, 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 da. And my mom was like, "It's great, sweetie. He's gonna love it."
I did. We used it in the demo.
Really?
Oh.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Oh, sister. Yeah. Oh my God. It was like this one requirement. We were doing a bunch of demos that ended up getting me a job that eventually brings on Dan.
What? Let's go.
Yeah. Oh my God. You had to have known that. We put it in a demo that was going to the sky.
Probably.
Mike McVeigh constantly on CDs back then. That's how long ago that
Did you like
was.
print out covers of
I
these
did.
CDs, like
What I-
their own merch?
Sis, like I would put photos of this executive, this radio executive, like his headshots on the cover.
Yeah.
And I'd put like speech bubbles like coming out of his mouth being like, wow, this is the greatest radio show I've ever heard. I need to hire him. And I'd send him CDs every week via FedEx.
Oh my God. That's
yeah.
your hustle. That's crazy. That's like something you see in a movie.
Yeah, well, it eventually ended up working out, but that jingle was on all those CDs.
Let's go. I remember making that in GarageBand.
That was like kind of making TikTok stuff
Pretty
before
much.
TikTok was a thing.
I was always doing this. I just got lucky. One thing blew up and it just went very fast. But this is like not unlike the rest of the things I write. So.
But the truth is, like, I do think that regardless of you blowing up on TikTok or not, you'd still be making music. Like, it is very much a part of who you are in your DNA.
I am like not great at anything else. So I'm like, I've been doing this for long enough, so I might as well stick to it.
I mean, you have 10,000 hours and then some.
It's true, actually. Yeah, I was like, actually, that's funny you say that. Recently, I was on the phone with my dad. We were laughing about everything and just how everything kind of, the cards fell into place eventually. We're like, remember we used to say 10,000 hours after everything? We were like subscribing to Bob Lefsetz, like old school,
He's great.
Live Nation, like whatever. And like, it was always 10,000 hours. You got to do your 10,000 hours. It was drilled home like as kids. And then I'm like, wait, we have far surpassed 10,000 hours.
You have a lot.
Yeah.
More than 10,000. But the other thing that you have that I think a lot of musicians lack today, especially coming up in TikTok, is like people have thrown beers at you.
Oh, piss.
Yeah, you've
What?
like
Piss.
like it coming up like back in the day in music, like people would always say like you can't really make it until beers are thrown at you, until you're performing to nobody.
Yeah.
And you've literally had urine.
Pee. Yeah.
Why?
I like played Warped Tour as a kid, like in a teen band, and like the first experience I had at Warped Tour was somebody peed in a bottle and like threw it at me. But like low key, we kind of deserved it. Like we were too young to be there. Like we didn't belong there. I was like, you know what? All right, I'll let it slide. But people are always like, oh, how do you deal with like the haters, like the hate comments? And I'm like, at this point,
it's not pee.
it's not piss in a bottle, so that's great. And it's like no one threw their urine at me, so I can't really complain. I got real thick skin. I think all of us, like, I think East Coast kids have thicker skin anyway. Like, I feel like we were just raised with loud families that like,
Truth.
like I show up to a family party and it's like someone looks different. Like you gained 5 pounds, like, or like you stink. Like you put on some deodorant. Like everybody was just like so vocal growing up that it would be hard for my brother and I to like get easily offended by anything. So.
But you genuinely made the rounds, and you're tested as a performer in a way that like really truly like
punk.
Well, most TikTok superstars. I mean, Benson Boone is just the most recent to come like off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Was just on the couch.
Yeah.
He literally sang for the first time a year and a half ago.
What?
Okay.
That's epic.
I've been watching you sing for 12 and a half years.
Respect to Benson, jeez.
But there is something different there in terms of how your approach is different. The way you perform is different, but also how, I mean, are you excited to go on tour? Are you excited to really do this in a serious manner?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, like I grew up on stage. That was all I had. We didn't like really have the kind of social media that is now, the like quick fix serotonin thing.
No, it's Twitter and then Instagram later on.
Right. Like Twitter was the home. I'll never delete my Twitter since like, what is it, 2009 I've had it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's being on stage was our like way of having exposure. Like just you gig out enough and you like build a small fan base where you are. So
and back then you would play the local, like everybody plays their
Pony,
area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
you'd play Stone Pony, School of Rock.
Right.
You'd play Crocodile, Croc something.
Oh, right.
The
heck was that?
The Crazy Donkey.
Crazy Donkey. Oh my God.
You'd play like
Strong Island.
you'd play Long Island, New Jersey, Bitter
That was
End.
a cult. Like that.
Yeah, it
like
was.
looking back, so many kids, including yourself, like came out here and like did the thing.
Anthony Lee.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We Mike Fishkin.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Yeah, he is killing it. All those like Long Island band kids. It was a genuine cult, I think. Like we all grew up in the tri-state area.
Push play.
Push CJ.
Come on.
Have you seen Wolf and the Wonder Show yet?
No.
What?
What is that?
I think it's his show, right?
Guys, are you kidding?
Are you gonna be CJ Barron's hype man right now?
You can't not be. Like if you haven't seen the show, it's downtown.
Is it good? Is it
It's
like
insane.
immersive theater?
Yeah. It's like sort of Sleep No More and takes place in this like post-apocalyptic loveless world.
Oh, you know what? It's so funny. He had DM'd me about this.
Yeah.
And I definitely did what I do, which I didn't respond.
Why?
Because I don't respond to anybody.
Blew it.
It's bad. But somebody had brought this up to me
Yeah.
the other day in passing,
So
this
dope.
immersive theater thing. Who taught you about TikTok?
It's like speed round.
No, we're switching
Honestly,
gears.
the kid I babysit,
So that girl's real?
she's real.
Chelsea?
She was literally the way I would babysit a bunch of songwriters, to be honest, were like this family. She's a really funny kid. So if a songwriter friend of mine who was also trying to pay her bills was like, can you pick up my shift here, go meet the parents or whatever? And she was so funny when I met her. And she, in order to like entertain her, like she made me download TikTok. And I was like, I'm not downloading this app. Like it's just another app on my phone. And we would just do TikTok dances until it was bedtime. And then, yeah. And then things happened like during the quarantine. And she had reached out being like, you know, you're TikTok famous. And like none of my friends believe that my babysitter is like TikTok famous. I'm like, well, why don't you just come over and we make a TikTok together and we'll prove them wrong. And that was the first one where it was like, what's up, Hannah? Sienna, look who I'm with right now. Like that one was the first one we did. And that was crazy.
Okay, so the girl you babysit, who you still actually babysit?
Yeah, I mean, like now it's more like we just sit around doing TikToks together. But yeah, the mom's like, okay, bye. And I'm like, cool, we got Airheads and blue Takis and like, you know, she eats like a child. So
She is a child.
she is a small child. So yeah. I don't really have that many friends, you guys. Just me and the babysitter kid.
Okay, so she makes you download the app. When
Yeah.
do you first write a song for it?
I mean, I was like confused about the app. I went back to New York. My parents still have that like beach shack in New York. So my boyfriend and I, when the quarantine happened, it was like, my mom was like, just get out of LA. It's so scary. Like, come home. And I'm like, oh, I'm not coming home. This thing's going to be over in like a week, right? We're like, fine, we'll come home 2 weeks tops, which ended up being like 4 months, obviously. And then 4 months in New York of me like introspectively posting my original music and just taking
To
myself
TikTok.
to TikTok. I posted a bunch of my songs and just me singing with the piano, taking myself like way too seriously. Came back to LA, got resettled in, and then I was just watching a movie one night, and I looked at my boyfriend. I was like, "Yo, you know, it'd be really funny if I sang Stacy's mom from Stacy's mom's perspective, which would sound like
It's
my
so
my
good.
mother, like Stacy, why is your boyfriend being super weird? You know, like just did it as my mom. Even then, though, like when I filmed that first Stacy's mom video, I was like, Stacy, why is your boyfriend being? And I was like, oh. This is so boring. Like I would never watch this. And then I got stupid, put like the towel on my head, put a robe on, the eye things, and then did it as her. And I swear to God, it's the first time I like did something stupid on the app, and I got like a couple hundred views, and I was like, damn it! Like I embarrassed myself. I was so excited about this, and I embarrassed myself, and I literally went to bed, got up to pee, and at like 3 a.m. saw a bunch of notifications and clicked it, and it was like millions of views. Wow. And then all those videos I posted prior of me singing, people like saw for the first time. So it was worth doing the consistent videos, and people followed because of they realized it was more than one thing.
You had range.
Sure, yeah, I guess. I think it was the craziest thing ever. I scared the crap out of my boyfriend. I was like, oh my God, it's viral. He's like, what? Who's here? Yeah, but that was the first one. And then I was like determined. I was like, okay, cool. Lucky me. There's tons of perspectives. And like I could just go on for years with this.
So is that what clicks after that initial virality sets in, that
Yeah.
you can milk the other POV?
Kind of, yeah. I think you're just thinking like, wow, this is the first time something's worked. I broke through all this noise. How do I do it again? So first thing I did was do a part 2, which did really well. And then I was like, well, I guess I can just do more. Like I could find different perspectives in different songs. I can do like Lonely from Hailey Bieber's perspective. I could do Chandelier from the housekeeper's perspective, Taylor Swift songs from the dad's perspective, like all these things. And it became like kind of a shtick, but then I started to get nervous that I'm like not a comedian or like an influencer by trade or whatever. So I was like, well, the whole point was so people could hear my original stuff. So the first one I posted was Ring Pop, and that was the most stressful because I was like, what if they just only want my funny perspective videos and not my originals?
How long after you are starting to build a fan base and you're releasing POVs do you choose to inject Ring Pop into the mix?
quickly, like within weeks, maybe 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, or 3 weeks maybe. Because I was panicking. I was like, oh God. Because you know how the internet is. It's like people like get their version of you that they like, and they're like, I'm
And that's
sticking
it.
to this, and that's why I follow her. And if it's anything different, then I'm going to unfollow it.
How
you
many
know?
POVs do you post between Stacy's Mom Part 1 and Ring Pop?
Not many. Like maybe 2 or something. Not too many.
Do
like,
they go viral?
Yeah, they all did insanely well. I got really lucky. Like people came back for the. I think the cool part about the POV is not like unlike my personality. Like I am that goofy, and I even call like my genre of music is just dad pop. It's just like tons of puns. So I kept the music kind of aligns with the humor of the TikToks.
Oh yeah, it definitely. By the way, it all is very much you.
That's the goal. I really just came down to that, being like, I'm not. Why am I stressing? I just got to do me and like hope they like me because I'm
Yeah, I was gonna say,
only one of me.
do you think you were taking yourself too seriously before that, and you
Yeah.
finally just like let your shield down and you're just being yourself now?
My whole life. I mean, there have been like little pockets like of times where I'm like thriving and really excited, but it's always the times where I'm like doing things on my own and not listening to like all the noise. It's always been like corporate dudes and older men and like just the industry whispering in my ear being like, hey, you're just not sexy enough. Hey, you got to lose 10 pounds. Hey, you got to like maybe dumb this down a little bit. Like this is too tongue in cheek, the lyrics, it's too puzzle piecey. And that's how I talk. Like I like puzzle pieces, you know? So every time I've wrote like written a quirky song where like lyrically I liked, they've been like, nah, it's just too like smart feeling. Like they always said smart. And I was like, what does that mean? Like
Too many words.
Too many words, right? It was
Yeah,
like,
but that's how you tell a great story, and your words flow together. Ring Pop is so good.
thank you. I mean, thank you. I appreciate it. No, it was, I think the cool part about the app itself and TikTok is for the first time I was able to post videos and closed caption them with lyrics. So I was actually literally able to take the lyrics and the wording and the puns that I believed in my whole life and that I was shot down for. I put them right on the screen and people could actually read them, and they're kind of the forefront of every song, which is like my dream. I was always predominantly a lyricist and not producer, you know, so it was cool to have the lyrics right there in your face. So
What's your first step for writing a song?
now it's like, it's concepts. Like people always, writers out here tell me, oh, you're so Nashville. Because like Nashville's very country and storytelling. So when you go into the studio, or they call it a write in Nashville, you walk in and they're like, somebody comes in with like a word or a story or a concept. Here it's like, oh, let's, you know, they're on a track or a beat or start playing with the beat and like see what comes and see what flows. Sometimes you'll even like hop up on the mic and sing like just random melodies. It's not, I don't really operate well that way. I'm more so like, hey, like I want to write a song. I had an idea the other day. I was like, it would be cool to do like a song about how to say like, I don't speak bullshit in like a bunch of different languages in the hook. I mean, like I can see right through this. Doesn't even matter what you're speaking. I just can't understand because I don't speak bullshit. And I was like, oh, let's go into the studio and do that. Start there. So it starts with words, conversations, lyrical inspiration for me personally, but not for everyone.
Are you writing alone, or are you writing with other people?
I've kind of narrowed it down to my close friends and people I love. I was taking every session in the beginning. I signed to a publishing deal, and I thought the rules were I had to say yes to everything. And eventually I burnt out like crazy. My ideas were like recycled. They sucked. I was uninspired. I was tired. I was tired of meeting everyone all at once. Like that whole, like, we call it session dating. It's like that whole hour of like, hey, nice to meet you. Where are you from? It's like literally Tinder dating. So it's exhausting. So now it's just me and my friends.
You know it works.
Yeah. I like know what I'm comfortable doing. I'm also like kind of an alpha with lyrics. So I'm very like, in my brain, I need to see something through and see if it works. And when you have a million people in the room writing, it's challenging for sure. People are always like, yeah, you didn't write that on your own. No way. You had other writers. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, other writers is so much harder. Like, you have a million brains. You're kind of like
managing.
Yeah, like that's writing on your own is easier to me. Like, way less pressure.
How do you know what you're writing is good?
At this point now, I just kind of put it out there and see if people connect to it. But yeah.
Do you have a strategy on how you tease a record?
Yeah. A lot of the times in the studio, I block out while I'm writing in my mind. I'm also thinking like, how can this translate on TikTok so I can get people to hear it for the first time? And that'll be like the promotion for the song. And I'm like, I'll map out like a 30-second to minute clip where I know that will connect like other videos of mine on TikTok. So a lot of it, I'm kind of in TikTok brain when I'm writing it. It's just that balance of like TikTok and just music that's listenable, you know?
I've been saying this a lot recently.
Hit me.
TikTok has created more one-hit wonders in the last 3 years than we've seen in the last 15.
Totally.
It
was great.
Yeah, but I do think you're very different. I do think a lot of the one-hit wonders that we're seeing are people who take their song and attach it to other people's dance moves. And like it's less from artists utilizing the platform to showcase themselves and build a relationship.
Right.
You know, that's two-way street between them and the audience. Because it's hard for people to just like, they like you. It's hard for them to like just throw you to the curb.
I'll take that. I appreciate it. And like I hope like I do use for the first time I'm using this app and I get to like communicate with people all over the world and it's really cool. Like I'm on the app as a user all day long. Like it's actually sad. Like most of my day is just like like on the feed. Oh, I love that guy. I follow him. I talk to like random people on the app all the time.
That also like promotes the algorithm, right? You're commenting on videos, they're seeing you, you're part of the community.
I haven't gotten to the bottom of this algorithm. Like I try to figure it out every day and I give up. But I will say like I'm lucky like to have the following on there that when I do comment on something, it does like shoot to the top comments. So like I spent a lot of time, especially when I first started, like just writing funny comments on things and shooting to the top.
Well, because it really does matter. Like it gets you out there. It's a part.
It's like a tweet blowing up.
Yeah,
that's what it like feels like. It's part of the whole thing, but it is the blurry line. Like I will say, I've yet to have like an original song, an audio just take off on its own without me doing anything to help. Like that, a lot of the times you see that. You see like Benny, right? Like I know I fucked up.
So yeah, but I may put her in the one-hit wonder category.
I mean,
depending on what she follows up with.
I don't
Rip
know.
Mom me the same way.
Oh right, I you know those things they happen organically though, just because people like the song and they like vibed out on a Spotify playlist, and then it started rotating around TikTok and organically blew up as an audio. I have yet to figure out how to make an audio go that way. The closest I've come is like my father.
So good.
Thanks.
Why that song now? Or in the last year?
That was one of the only times in my life when I wrote something, and you asked me earlier like, how do you know if a song is good? I just like don't really until the people decide, right? But that one, I like felt that spiritual moment, goosebumps, stayed up for 3 days straight, went back into the studio, recut things. I was like perfectionist about it. Most of the things I do in one day and just put it out. I'm like, whatever. It was nowhere. It's just songs. But that one was so special to me because it was so true to me that I wanted to find a balance of it being true to me, but also like relatable to other people. Because I don't think a good song means like it's perfectly accurate to you. I think the point of good art is like that it connects to other people and it connects to the masses as hard as you can get it to connect. And I found such a sweet spot there with like it being 100% honest to me and also hopefully aspirational to other people and what love could be, you know, with good parents.
Where does it start for you? Do you witness your mom and dad doing something? I mean, you witness them all the time because
they made you a video.
Oh my God.
Sorry, they were like, do not forget to show this to Zach Sang. Hold on, I gotta show you. You're gonna die. Hold on. Can you hear this on this microphone if I play this?
By the way, TikTok superstar JaxWritesSongs, full legal name. Oh my God, play it.
Okay, by the way, I give you some.
Are they on a cruise?
I wish they were on a cruise. My mom taught middle school for 35 years.
Yes.
Just retired a few weeks ago, and her plan was, and by the way, these are like Brooklyn parents.
Yeah.
City.
She taught in Brooklyn for all that time.
Yeah, for the whole time, and she was like, you know what I want to do? I'm going to sell the house and get an Airstream. I just want to live in it and just like travel. So they're literally in a metal tube.
Wait, what?
They've been just traveling around to local farms in the middle of nowhere for the last few weeks.
That's awesome.
Traveling the country together with a toilet that is in the shower. Like the
what?
Like the trail.
What?
That's what I said. My brother were like, "Are you sure about this? Like you guys aren't like campy people. Like you guys are you grew up where there were like no trees. Like this is crazy. Toilet is in the shower." These things are bougie too. Like here, wait, this is them.
Hey Zach. Hey Zach, how are you, buddy?
I miss you guys.
What's going on? So Jax told us the other day that she was going to be seeing you today, and Jill and I were just talking about you the other day and going over and reminiscing about New Jersey times, old times on your show, and we were like, I wonder how he's doing. And now we're very jealous that we're not going to be there, but wanted to tell you that we miss you very much, and we've never forgotten how good you were to us.
I love
and
you
we're
guys.
going to meet up again.
Yes.
And I don't know what to expect tonight, but I did give Jax my famous recipe to my award-winning meatballs and sauce. So if she does it right, you should be in for a treat. But right now we are in the middle of touring the country until Labor Day.
We're in
on a
North
farm right now.
Yeah, she's just them in a farm. My mom's like, oh, we just met the coolest people. Like, they're farmers. I'm like, great. You guys are going to get murdered at some point on this trip.
But you made the pasta. You made the
I
sauce.
made
Thank
the
you.
gabagool. It says JaxWritesSongs gabagool on it.
That like brings me I'm flooded with the most memories. Like, and it's hard to put into words and to capture in just this conversation. But I mean, I have known you guys for like
So long.
the longest time, and
Yeah.
they're such a joy. Really, truly, like I was brought to tears many times over the last couple of years watching you rise. I mean, sis, like you could have bailed
True.
at any moment.
Maybe like right now, though.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Yeah, I'm done.
But I wouldn't have faulted you for it, even though I knew you had something within that like definitely needed to be expanded on and definitely needed to be shared with as
right.
many people as humanly possible. But like you kept going, like in the face of so much shit.
It's not easy out here, but my heart is super full.
Were there any thoughts of quitting?
It was never quitting. It was more like, what jobs do I need to get to like pay my way through this? Like I don't have a blank check from my mom and dad. Like when I want to buy a new piece of equipment or when I want to hire a guitar player or, like I just need to figure out how to pay for it myself. So having that balance of like a side hustle, I remember even at one point I like signed up to drive Uber. Like I'm like, what do I have to do to get the cash to put food on my table and pay for my career?
And that's the one thing too that I got to say, like watching you from so early on, really watching you grow up and perform and evolve. Other people in that scene had parent money, like they had parental family funds,
Right.
that were really used at their discretion to fund these delusional dreams in a lot of cases.
Oh my gosh, I feel like we might be thinking of the same person. We will not say
I mean,
it.
like literally, there's like 7 people, but
There's
like
one that comes to mind, but I will never say it on
We'll
air.
talk about it later.
Great.
Um,
We're like, what? You have just this endless bank. I was always so jealous of those kids. But by the way, I do think those kids like quit a lot earlier.
Yeah, I would say, what are they doing now?
They quit because they like to it's kind of this false sense of reality and identity. Like
totally.
I don't at this point actually say we surround ourselves. We don't trust many people that have never been poor. Like we're like, you got to be poor if you want to be a homie at some point. Like, because it's a different understanding of life. It's a different set of goggles. Like my parents, I did not come from money. Like
No, I mean your dad was a firefighter and your mom was a teacher, both in Brooklyn. Like
and retired. So my dad was like after 9/11, he had to go. So he basically was dadager. He was my chauffeur, like because I couldn't drive yet. But my mom driving back and forth, Brooklyn, Jersey, whatever, teaching. But they found a way always. So like if they knew I had a dream, there was a blank check. They figured it out.
really, truly, like you did it with no outside help. Like you did not come from insane connections or money or relationships. And
No, but they did know I was like super OCD. Like there are different types of kids. Like, you dabble in different sports and you have start to learn your passions and stuff like that. And they always did know that if they invested in something, like I was not gonna stop until I kind of mastered it. I was just very like always super tunnel vision like that. So it was never really a waste of money. Like if they were like, oh, we'll build you a little studio in the basement, like I used it every day,
did the Hailey Bieber reaction scare you?
Yeah, actually. Like that was like the first time TikTok scared me. They were like, hey, Justin loves Hailey and Hailey loves Justin. I'm like, I know, it was a parody. Like, I don't know. I couldn't think of anything else. It rhymed. Like, I know. I like wonder still if they saw it. Maybe not. Probably not. But that was the first time I experienced. The second time I experienced like major hate on a TikTok, there were like 3 videos I could think. One was that one. The next one was I did a Tom Brady one where I'd like kissed my son for too long, like at the end of it on the lips. But like, and I didn't realize how aggressive football fans are. Like they don't, they take this very seriously.
Oh yeah, breaking news.
This was crazy things for them. Like I was like, oh my God, like I didn't realize I really pinched a nerve here. But and then it's like I don't even know. Like I made my boyfriend. I just wanted to do. I knew it was like Super Bowl. I knew he was going for a 7th ring, and in my mind, I'm like, there's a song called 7 Rings. So I have to do it as a parody. So I was like, but wait, I don't know anything about football or like Tom Brady.
So where do you begin?
I made my boyfriend just jot down a bunch of things about Tom Brady for me, and I just made him rhyme.
Tom Brady kisses his son.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, can you be the son? And like I kiss you for too long at the end of it. And it was like, he's like, don't worry, Dad, you're gonna do great. And I'm like, thanks, son. And just but I like was ripped apart. Like when I tell you, terrifying, like death threats. I was like, you guys are nuts. Football is not every day. Like this is nuts. And the other one was I always thought that Year 3000 was a Jonas Brothers song.
It's
I
not?
Did not realize it was not. It's a British band.
That is correct. They bought it from them.
Yes, and the British TikTok came for me pretty hard, but they're like more forgiving. I feel like British people have very similar humor to New York people. So like, we hate you, but I'll still follow you. I'm like, all right, thanks. Sorry.
But you left all these videos up, right? Like you could have taken them down, but you chose not to.
No, yeah. What's the point? Like, is what it is. Like, I'm just trying to. I learned after doing music and writing songs for so long, realizing not everyone is ever gonna like one thing. I can't be too precious about it, or I'll just go crazy.
Did you ever really think you were going to be the parody person?
No, not at all. I mean, like I do think it's a little poetic in a way where I spent so long writing songs for other people from their perspective. Like it was one of my favorite things when I would get called in for a session and they're like, we have this brief from Why Don't We, you know, or like a boy band or a male artist. I get really excited about that. I'm like, because I like writing from guys' perspectives. I feel more comfortable with it. As a girl, knowing what girls kind of want to hear, like your marketing brain kind of gets like super stoked. So I was like, I kind of have been doing this for like a decade, writing for other people and myself. I'm like, whatever. Now let's just make it kind of goofy. So no, I didn't think so, to answer your question in long ass response.
What was the most challenging video or song for TikTok to write?
That's a really good question. To write?
Like which came the most natural and which just didn't?
It's really hard to say. I mean, a lot of them are a ton of work because there's kids. Oh. So a lot of the times I write most of them in advance unless I could like pull from the humor of the kid. Like even like the last one with Dwarf Mamba, like he has little things he says and I will incorporate it into the songs. But like the kid ones are normally difficult because you're kind of actually babysitting while performing. You got to teach them kind of how to do it. And then you want to capture their natural humor. So like a lot of your creativity changes and you have to rewrite things and stuff like that. So most of the things I do with kids on there, like really, really small kids, like that is difficult, never easy.
Are you producing these yourself?
Yeah. I mean, produce just an iPhone video. Like literally, I don't like no effort. It's like insane. Like the effort is in finding really cool, funny moments.
Yeah.
And capturing them. But the post is just capture it, crop it down, and add subtitles.
So how do these come together? Well, people with like John Stamos and Harry Jowsey, how do these all come together?
Oh, I harass people all day long.
Via DM?
Yeah. Comments publicly, DM, you name it, I'm doing it all day long. Like I just go into the DMs and I go, I'm a huge fan. Do you want to come over and like make a TikTok together? Like, hello, you up. And eventually some people see after like 100 DMs in one day, one person usually sees it and gets back to me. So it works. But John Stamos happened because I did a tribute to Bob Saget when he passed into the Full House theme song.
It was so good.
Oh, thanks. I was
so good.
I was like I was planning on posting like a funny one that day, and I was just in a bad place when I heard about it, and I just, why could I write it to the theme song of this? And he saw that, and he asked me to do a full recorded version of it, because he was doing a tribute to Bob at like Comedy Store or something like that, and a montage of all his moments. And I was like, oh God. I actually, that day I recorded that was the day I did the skydiving TikTok. So I was like, jumped out of a plane, got in the car, drove to the studio at 10 p.m., like cut the actual song in the mic and recorded it for him. And he was like, "Thank you so much. This like means the world. I owe you one."
Don't say that.
You're right.
And I was like, "You do? You mean it?" So I was like, so my parents are coming to town. Like this iHeart Radio thing. Like you might want to like come through if you're sick. My mom loves you, so she'd be super surprised. And then she freaked out. She was like, "Can you post this before my retirement party so all my friends can see it?" Like, sure. Post it tonight.
It's an interesting life you're living now, Jax.
They did all see it, by the way. They were all. I went to the retirement party, and they were all like, "John Stamos."
Has there been a weird celebrity that's recognized you from TikTok?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like I get it. Like all of the people I grew up watching. I mean, a lot. It's very, very cool. That's the coolest thing. Like the coolest thing is Natasha Bedingfield hitting me up for like an idea. I'm like, "What do you mean? Don't hit me up." I'm like, "Hitting you up. You're a genius." Like, or the other day where I was out to see a friend's thing and thyroid just like ran up to me and he was like, "Jax, like I'm a huge fan." I'm like, "Thyroid, like I'm a huge fan. Like, should we like write a song or something? Like, this is what?"
Is that how it works now?
Yeah, kinda. Like it's pretty organic, other than the whole like me harassing people thing.
Is there someone that you keep harassing that just won't respond?
Oh yeah, Lil Dicky.
Oh really?
Really?
Oh, yeah, I love him so much. He used my hall pass, but like not anymore because Ray was like, "Now it's too attainable."
Yeah, it's
He said?
possible.
He said it was, and I was like, "You can't just change your mind. Like you agreed."
That's not how that works.
Yeah, like what if you blew up on TikTok and like does Scarlett Johansson like not matter anymore? Like that was your chick. Like Lil Dicky was always my hall pass. So I was like him and like Sacha Baron Cohen.
So maybe the universe is keeping you away from him for a reason.
Maybe not to lose love of my life. Yeah, the ginger love.
Is he the love of your life?
Oh yeah,
You gonna marry him?
I better. It's about damn time. In a minute, I'm gonna need a little ring pop to pump me up. If you're watching, where's the cameras?
Wow, that's seductive.
Where do you think you'd be without TikTok?
In Kearney, New Jersey,
In my
performing.
1-bedroom apartment with a cockroach on the wall. Like, I don't know. Like, no, yeah, literally just doing the coolest thing about TikTok was I was able to save up enough from like the brand stuff to be able to buy the house. And that's really nice to come home from like the crappiest thing about living in a 1-bedroom apartment, especially with like the sirens and the noise and everything, is like you come home from travel and it's like, that's just been sitting there, it just kind of feels like warm.
Ooh.
Just the feeling. You're
Yeah, I'm in it.
sweating, like dragging up suitcases. Having the house has been like awesome. After the renovation and everything, that's been the coolest thing.
How many originals do you have just sitting somewhere on a hard drive?
Originals for me, or like.
Oh, do you write
general?
songs for other people?
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of the times I'll go in with the mindset of writing for me and morphs into something that I wouldn't want to sing for myself, but could work for, like, I don't know, Katy Perry. You're like, cool, this actually is way more of a Katy Perry vibe, so we'll just bank it in there's a Dropbox file of like hundreds of songs, like just sitting there. But,
For other people?
Yeah, or just ones that I wouldn't consider singing myself. But for my own project, I got like 20 that I love, and I want to ultimately put out a full length called Dad Jokes. But yeah,
That's going to be the album name?
I think so.
Do you have a date for when you want it to come?
No, not really. I should know that, but we've just been like spontaneously dropping singles like on a whim. I've been stressing everybody out. Like, we should just drop this right now. I'm like, right now. Like, literally, we just did, like, I teased Victoria's Secret without telling anyone I was going to do that. Like, it was in that category, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. Like, I'm just going to post this.
And it goes ridiculously viral.
It's like 20 million views, and it's Chelsea, too. I like, because I wrote it for her, because she had this, like, moment
It's
where
so beautiful.
there was, like, a brat in her school that was, like, they went bikini shopping for a pool party, and she, somebody called her fat and flat, and it, like, really pissed me off. I have a lot of eating problems myself, or at least growing up, and I was like, oh God, I gotta tell her. And I was like, how can I make this kind of like punk raging girl power song for her where she like laughs when she listens to it and actually does take it seriously? So wrote Victoria's Secret, played it for her. She loves it. And then everyone's like, oh crap, we gotta get it out. I'm like, well, let's just do it. I'm like, there's a lot of things that go into like releasing a song. You gotta, prepare the DSPs like Spotify and Apple Music. You gotta like
Amazon,
especially Amazon. You gotta prepare Amazon for it, and it's like you need artwork. You need like the single art for it. So I was like, I could just do that in like an hour. So me and Brave, basically, I put on like lingerie. Should I show it to you? Basically, I put on lingerie, and I was like, I thought it'd be really funny if I just like dressed up kind of sexy, like not looking like what I feel comfortable in, and then I just face-tuned the living crap out of it. So it like ended up looking like something like this, just like really out there. We shot this like in our living room, and I made like this little Victoria's Secret like where I'm like face tuning myself throughout it.
I love it.
So yeah, but that cost me $- to do. So
You actually lost money.
I lost money probably. Yeah, I was like, I had to purchase the upgraded face tune and everything. So.
So, okay, a record like that, there's so much detail in it because the hook is that like it's Victoria's Secret is made by a guy.
Yeah, the ultimate like goal was not to like really hone in on any gender that it was made up by, but it was like the idea that it was made up, like it was just a fabricated version of this perfect girl that was made up by this like old man. Like, even if like the point of you dressing like sexy was to like impress other guys, like that's not the guy you were really going for, but really the point was to be like, the perfect body just doesn't exist. It's like, you can't make it up. You can't have an ideal version of what a body should look like. And we were fed that. Victoria's Secret kind of got caught in like the fire there, because it is just kind of the one brand you do think of that was like damaging, especially as like young women. Yeah. I remember feeling like, they used to chant Jax's flat chest in my summer camp. They used to go JFC, the boys. Like, that was normal. Like, back then especially, you saw these like tiny, tiny bodies and like disproportionate like boobs to butt ratio, all these things where you're like, oh yeah, that's it. That's exactly what I need to do. So, and in order to get there, the only way to do it is starve. For me anyway. Some girls, like, I didn't want to make it so like, because like skinny bodies are great too. Fat girls are great. Like, I feel like I got like a thick booty. Like, all these things I used to hate about myself, I've learned to love a little bit. Not perfect, I wanted to like really get across that this idea of this perfect body was just fabricated. It was completely made up. And like, even for the music video, we're thinking of like, how do we have this like man sitting in a room, like just designing this like perfect woman that doesn't exist. So I wanted to instill that in young girls because I went through it big time. So
beautiful song written in your mind at the time just for one person.
Well,
for Chelsea,
it was pretty easy for me to write because it was true to me. Yeah, for sure. Like, I always actually, in my mind, I was like, it'd be cool to write a song called Victoria's Secret, but what is the secret? Used to joke in middle school, like, who's Victoria? Like, what's her secret? I'm like, oh, her secret is that she doesn't exist. Like, it's an old man in Ohio. like that's it. That's her. That's the Victoria that you guys are all striving for. So it was to really be like this. The powers behind this are no good. So
You Love You is the song you do with Jake.
Yes.
Is that sample? Is that public domain, or do you have to clear that?
I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but it's public domain
Really?
because what song do you think it is?
I Love You, You Love Me. Isn't that Barney?
You would think.
It's not. It's actually something older, right?
It is. It's with a knick-knack, paddywhack,
Yes.
dog a bone. This old man came something home. It's that one, which is crazy. We didn't expect that to be public domain when we wrote it.
How does that start? Does it start with the beat or what?
No, that was like just a straight up concept. I was like, this would be really funny to flip this to make it like self-love instead of like needing a relationship.
What TikToks are sitting in your drafts that you never posted?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I got in trouble at Govball for taking my underwear off on stage.
What? Why would you do that?
That's for Victoria's Secret.
Oh.
I was wearing Victoria's Secret underwear, and I was like, you know what? Like, I can't perform the song, and I'm wearing Victoria's Secret
It's
underwear.
false valor,
Yes, exactly. I gotta take it off. So I did like that summer camp trick where you like take it off under your shorts. But
Did you do that on stage?
I did.
So there's a TikTok of that sitting in your drafts?
That is sitting in my drafts. Yeah.
Is there a POV video or a parody that you didn't end up posting?
No, not yet. I haven't done a lot of those recently. I do a lot of like, if it says perspective on it, usually it's because I had a guest come in, like a celebrity I like, or just someone I met. Like, we have a couple of those ideas coming up, but no parodies.
Any of those never make it to TikTok?
Parodies?
Oh, like with special guests? They came, they shot it, didn't like it.
Not really.
Not
Because
really.
I don't have the heart to like not post it, even if I know it's not great.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
All right.
I can't do it.
Which ones that you've posted don't you like?
No, I can't tell you that. I
There's
feel
go-
bad. They're gonna be watching.
there are some though, aren't there?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. There's I could think of like 3 off the bat. Where I was like, oh god, this isn't funny. A lot of times I like to have friends over because there's a lot of friends of mine that have like are trying to do the same thing as me that need help. So I'm like, yeah, totally. Come over. We'll figure out something. And we'll just get you like featured on there and tag you and get people over to your account. I'm like, oh God, I can't think of anything. And they're my friends, so I have to figure it out. But like, yeah, there's quite a few like that for sure. But it's fine.
What's your most viral video?
Chelsea.
The first one?
No, the second one.
Got it.
The one we did about all the things she does that we don't tell her mom. Like stay up too late. She has a boyfriend. She's seen boobies before. And then the mom walks in, who's actually, she did walk in and close the door. But that one's like 120 million views. Like numbers I can't process. That's when it gets like, I mean, even 1 million views. Like if you would have told me, like when I was a teenager, you're like, this YouTube video you did of the Cup song gets 1 million views. I would have been just like sprinting. Like, this is it. I am famous. Like,
it's over now.
I could just quit. Like,
This is where it ends for
exactly,
me.
Exactly. So now it's like, exactly. I've peaked.
No, I've reached the roof.
That's what I mean. Honestly, it was crazy to think that was very full circle this week. Actually, yesterday I hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and all I'm doing really on YouTube is taking the TikTok content and just putting it up
for
there on
shorts.
Shorts. Yeah, and I didn't realize like until I just checked back recently. I was like, oh my god, like I have almost 1 million subscribers on here, and like every video is getting a couple of million views. Like, this is nuts. If you would have told teenage me I'd have like millions of views on YouTube. Like, I grew up watching YouTubers. Like, this is huge, you know? And we just kind of take it for granted. I was like, everything's been so chaotic that I need to take a meditation moment yesterday and be like, oh, thank you, universe. Thank you to people that are watching. This is really freaking awesome.
How do you stay present? Is it by meditation?
Lately, I'm uber present. Like, I'm there. I'm too present. That's the problem. I need to like learn how to disconnect from everything.
You don't do like you don't do drugs or drink, do you?
I drink like casually.
Yeah.
I drink all the time. Wait, I'm drunk right now. I know.
You did bring wine, so
That's true. We gotta figure out how to get Stoop to talk on this one.
That is so cool.
We gotta get you sponsored by 19 Crimes.
We're a perfect fit for one another.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I drink. I go out on the weekends. Sometimes I try to the drinking is good to have a beer every now and then and disconnect because I don't know how to stop like working. I learned that very quickly the hard way, and that's when like having been in it for a while came into, and having like the cancer stuff like came into play when TikTok blew up, because second it happened, I was like, I am not going to sleep until I die. Like, it was just go 2 TikToks a day booked, 3 sessions a week, just like press, blah, 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 this, that, whatever. And then it was like, by the time December came around, I couldn't even talk. Like, just wrecked. So meditation, I've been doing a ton of yoga, hot yoga.
Hot yoga.
Hot yoga.
Wow.
That's the move.
Do you do like a class with other people?
Yeah, I do.
Like strangers are in the class?
Yeah, strangers are in the class. I've gotten like recognized a bunch, like
That's
looking
my-
like shit.
That's my
like,
hell.
It was getting recognized when you're like not prepared for it.
Yeah, and hot yoga, that's
You're
my God.
drenched. I'm naked, like in the locker room. I'm like,
Oh, no.
they're like, you're Jax. I'm like,
Oh.
no,
No, that's traumatizing me.
it is a little bit, but I can't complain about it. But
Well, I wouldn't go. I'd
You
bring
know,
hot yoga to
no.
me.
That was what we were doing in the apartment.
Yeah, if I had
'Cause it was that hot in there, we would just do yoga, and it was hot yoga.
Not intentionally hot
No,
yoga?
No, the air was just broken. We couldn't get the maintenance guy up there, so like, might as well make use of this, do some yoga, and steam it up in here. Yeah, well.
By the way, please listen to Jax's music. There's going to be a link in the description below. Victoria's Secret is on its way.
Yep.
An album eventually.
I hope so. Yeah. I mean,
What do you mean hope? Like, do you not control that?
It's not even so much that. I just don't think that far ahead sometimes. And like, I know we live in the pretty quick paced world where everybody's like single, single, single. So we have it. So we've just been kind of dropping it. And then ultimately when you have enough singles that all kind of fit a certain vibe, there's an album there somewhere.
Do you know what story you want to tell with the debut album? Do you want to do an EP?
No, oh my gosh, EP. I haven't heard that in so long. I didn't even think about that. I think if we just called this body of work an EP now, it would work because it's probably more than an EP. Because now at this point we got Ring Pop, 90s Kids.
Yeah,
you
probably
love
have.
you, Like My Father, To All the Boys I Loved Before, and that's 5.
That could be an EP right there. Yeah.
There you go. And yeah, so maybe. I think like it'll just come down to all the songs are pretty much, it's clearly spoken from my brain. So no specific story I want to tell. I got some ex-boyfriend drama. I got some self-love. I got some how I want to love based on my parents' relationship. I got some like 90s nostalgia, 2000s nostalgia. I got with Ring Pop and 90s Kids, and then Victoria's Secret. I got some angst. So just trying to like pull from my brain a little bit in each song, getting all one little neatly packaged thing.
And any tour?
I would love that.
Yeah. Why have you? You should be out there now.
I would love to. I think it's like it's been a lot of like one-off things.
Yeah. Don't you want to see like what you can bring out and like what kind of
Yeah.
crowd you can draw?
Totally. That's like anxiety, right? And it's cool because it's like my whole life you've been trying to sell 7 tickets at a freaking
A VFW hall.
VFW hall, yeah. So it would be really, really interesting to see now with like TikTok being a thing, who would come see me sing live.
I'll come.
But it would just be you, really. You and my mom again. Like we really thought this one would work, guys. We thought TikTok was gonna stick, but here we are.
We thought this was the time.
In Cherry Hill. Just in Brick. That's where you are, right? You were in Brick.
I was in Wayne.
Wayne, right.
Brick.
What is Jersey?
It's the best state in the nation. I'll
It
tell you
is
that much.
the Garden State.
It's the greatest state in the nation.
I got yelled at from, I did like a My Home State type song, and I said Statue of Liberty because I've spent half my life in New York, half in Jersey, so
You can claim the Statue of Liberty.
I thought so, but they say that like
What do you mean?
I said New York in the song, and
Oh, it technically is in New Jersey.
but is it?
It's in the river.
It's
that's
in the
between.
river, so like, how do you even determine like what it is? Like, is it not like a
don't know.
zip code of New York? But
Ellis Island. What's the zip on Ellis Island? Give that a googie.
what is the fucking?
What do you-
I was gonna say, what's the dude from Joe Rogan? The researches.
Oh, that. It was
Jamie.
Yeah, I knew it was a J.
This
Jamie.
says Ellis Island is 07305, which is part of Jersey City, New Jersey.
Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah.
Heck, man, Jersey just has it.
Yeah, we do.
All right, but Jersey bagels or New York bagels?
New Jersey bagels.
No,
You
New York
think?
bagels,
Yeah.
you morons.
No.
Fight. I didn't say anything.
Also-
Moron.
Oh,
Singular.
Singular.
Where do you think the best bagels are?
There's one place called Brooklyn Bagels in Brooklyn that makes like these giant fluffy things. That one is like, I haven't found a bagel place better than that. But I will say, like, and generally speaking, I've had some great Jersey bagels. So
New Jersey bagels and New Jersey pizza is.
I don't know about that. I'm not gonna go that far.
There's some great New Jersey pizza.
Yeah.
I really do think New Jersey creates the best pizza in the nation. Better than New York.
And you know what?
Well, biased
I'm
there.
gonna make this even grosser. They say like Connecticut actually makes the best pizza.
Oh, that's no,
I've heard good things.
What is it? Pepe's or something like that. Like
that's stupid.
there's one spot that ranked #1 in the world, which was like this place in Connecticut. Like I hate to say, I just gagged a little.
Baby
Little
barf.
acid reflux there, but yeah, Connecticut.
Frank Pepe's Pizzeria?
Yeah, was I right?
I typed in best pizza in the world, Connecticut, and that's
Shut
the first thing
up,
that came
really?
up.
Look at you. You got a really good memory. It's scary. It's frightening.
Yeah,
I know
really.
a little about a lot. I'm not too bright, but I know like little fun facts here and there.
Have you made more friends since becoming famous, or less?
It's such a weird question. I don't know. Depends on. I have like a lot of new relationships on the internet, but
So not real.
I mean, I don't know. It depends on what you mean by real, because I do have like friends on there. Like I talk to people all day long. I meet kids from like children's hospitals, and like I have like straight up relationships with people on there. So I would argue like in-person friends, like way less. Like I moved out of the city. I'm in like Woodland Hills.
Yeah.
I don't really come in to the city much? Like,
Thanks for coming for
yeah,
us.
I came for you with the gabagool, but
Thank you. This would be a package you bring from the valley.
yeah,
the suburbs.
yeah, it's like it just I didn't even have to heat it up. It was just
It was ready to go. It was 2 Tupperwares full of food.
just walk outside for 5 minutes and it was boiling. But yeah, no, probably less. I think my guard's been a little more up. It was very strange to see how differently people spoke to me off the bat.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm.
but you know, I
That's
think that's just
interesting.
Hollywood, honestly. Even coming to Hollywood from the East Coast was so. I mean, you must have experienced it too. It's like this weird. You get lost in the sauce. Like it's like the weirdest thing. Like you go. I always say like there's something really warm about how cold people are on the East Coast, and there's something really cold about how warm people are here.
That is so beautifully said that I have actual fucking goosebumps.
It's oh wow. It's like weird. Like everyone was your best friend. You get here and then you get heartbroken so quickly. Like you meet someone, you're like, I just found my soulmate. Like this girl's gonna be my best friend in the world. I've
Yeah.
always had a hard time like making girlfriends. You know, like I don't know why. It's like I always wanted to have more girlfriends in my life. I can't like even think of a bridesmaid at this point. You know, I don't know. But coming here, I was so stoked. I feel like I was making friends with everyone, and then I'd never hear from them ever again. Like
Yeah, because you couldn't do
completely
anything
ghosted.
for them.
Right. They like are always looking to see like what can you do for me, and then when they kind of sniff out that you can't do much, they're like eye in the rest of the room to see who they can like lock in with. And that's not what you really get at a bar in New York. I feel like if someone doesn't like you and they don't fuck with you, they're just like, I don't fuck with you.
And that's it. And that's okay.
And I'm okay with that, really.
I'd rather have that than the other
Totally.
thing.
A lot of people wouldn't. You'd be surprised.
Sad.
I mean, like I do prefer like the very honest, loud thing. So when I do go out in the valley, I'll go to like Thirsty Merchant.
Ah,
Have you been there?
of course.
That's like the spot where you play cornhole and Connect Four and stuff.
Classic Valley gathering hole.
Yeah, it used to be Jalapeno Pete's.
Oh yeah, okay, I know exactly what it is.
Yeah, like right on Ventura, and then people, all the homies, kind of migrated towards Thirsty Merchant. So
You're cool.
you're cool, stop it.
The only other question I had was when Ellen sends you a gift, does she actually send you that gift?
She didn't just send it. There was like a dude that came to our apartment, like dressed in
send
like
you?
Ellen DeGeneres stuff to like a PA,
Really?
ring light, piano, cardboard cutout of Ellen that stayed in our apartment for way too long. Like we would just wake up to pee and every night scare the crap out of ourselves because Ellen would just be life size in our living room. But yeah, no, literally they had someone come and even because I didn't go in person, so even to like film Ellen, they came with like a suitcase.
Oh,
It
wow.
looked insane, like out of a movie. A suitcase with all the like the laptop, the microphones, the lights, whatever, and they set it up in the apartment. So that was cool.
So when she gave you that, when she rolled that whole thing out with like the piano and the ring light, like
It
she
was
actually,
there within 2 hours. From
Really?
the live
Wow,
show.
good for
Yeah,
her.
it was there within 2 hours, and it was like crazy. I was like, I got to the apartment, the guy rolled up with all that stuff. It was wild. But it was crazy at the time. See, like during top of quarantine before TikTok, so top of like March, April 2020, we were freaking out, like hence Ring Pop. We were freaking out about money and like collecting unemployment, like crappy groceries, just not great, and panicking. And I decided that my quarantine project was going to be to get my real estate license in the event we never come out of this, right? And I was like, houses will always be for sale. I could just do this, right? Like I could do this to make money. I can come right back out of this once quarantine's over and sell a house and boom, we're good to go. And like, so I studied my ass off for a year. And every time the exam came up, due to COVID popping off, they would cancel the exam. So I would be like super prepared, up all night, studied all these keywords. It's a really difficult exam in California. And every time canceled. Finally, locked in the date, good to go. Ellen Show wants to film that day. So everything like sort of happened in the best way possible.
was not
like I'm
meant for
not
you to do
complaining
that.
about being on Ellen whatsoever. No, I did it.
You did?
Yeah,
Did you pass?
I passed.
So you have your real estate
I
license?
do. And then when I bought my
You-
first
you were
home,
your own
I was
agent.
able a little commission on it. So that was
Oh,
made it all worth
sick.
it. So if you're ever looking to buy,
Oh, yeah. sis.
I'm your girl. I could put on like my push-up bra and like walk in and do the full selling sunset thing. I don't always look like this.
You're not always wearing oversized Harley gear?
Nah, never. Like I got like in my spare time, I'm like in stilettos
And
selling houses.
power blazers?
Yeah, power. Oh God, Jeez, I'm wait. You better not hire another. You either, Mister. I don't. What are you filming right now? Like no one hires an agent without coming to Jax.
Do you think we can afford houses here?
That's a joke.
You'd be surprised. I'm like sitting here. If you save up like just for that down payment after a long time, which I did, like
that's really the trick.
It was
right?
the trick because the mortgage itself is cheaper than the rent.
Yeah.
My mortgage right now is cheaper than what I was paying for a 700 square foot 1-bedroom apartment in like not a great neighborhood in the valley.
That's the trick.
Like we were paying like $2,500 for a 1-bedroom.
Yeah, that's about right.
It's like pretty normal.
That's
and
in
honestly
LA.
kind of cheap. Like
Yeah.
like I've seen it go way worse, and I'm thinking like now the mortgage is way less,
Yeah, and you own it. It's yours.
and I'm paying my own rent, so I'm my own landlord now, which is really great until a pipe breaks.
Mm.
And everything
then it
gets
sucks.
soaked, and I don't know how to work a pipe. And plumbers are expensive. Did you know that? Because I didn't. I don't like being a grown up. It's not fun. But my dog has a backyard now, so that's good.
That's worth it.
Yeah, totally.
Wow. I'm so proud of you.
You too.
Truly, I can't
you
wait.
too. You have a new show. It's the new chapter of the JaxWritesSongs show.
Since we met for the first time, this show has gone through so many iterations.
Yeah, you've been. It's like one. I feel like both of us have just been in this one outstanding puberty.
Oh my God, it's crazy. I haven't grown up. I think I'm still the same person.
100%.
People still yell Zach Sang and the Gang or Zach Sang and the
Goom.
Soup Body or whenever I hear somebody bring up Goom, that is like
That's
that.
a deep cut.
It's a deep cut.
You know, it happens more than you think.
Really?
But I have reached a phase, after 15 fucking years,
Yeah.
that like there are different people who know me from different things.
Right.
And some people shout Goom, but then I do find a lot of people who have listened to us on like the real radio over the last 10 years. And
Huge.
they're like, they've like a lot, I get a lot like, oh, I've been listening to you since I was a kid, or I used to listen to you when I was a kid. And then I'm like, oh, how old are you? And then two, like, where the did you go?
They're like 14 too.
Yeah.
Like they're like, I've been listening since I was a kid.
6. I get that. I will hear that
Yeah.
more like really, truly
Same.
often.
Yeah, it's weird.
It
Like,
is,
You start to really feel old.
Definitely.
You see all those Disney stars that you'd interviewed, like are all turning 30 this year.
Yeah, there's and by the way, like like the Debbie Ryans of the world and
How wild.
all
We are
those people are
guys.
entering their 30s. Liz is gonna be 30. I'm gonna be.
Oh my
30.
God, your Liz video.
Which one?
The one where you're on stage.
Oh, Break Free.
Yes.
Oh my God, some of my finest work. I thought you were
It
gonna.
was viral on TikTok. That was in my feed, not on you. I was a top comment on that. There we go. I was like, oh my God, I finally made it to Zach saying TikTok, jumping up on stage. What is this? It was in a feed. It was in my For You page from a fan that posted it. It wasn't even you.
A lot of people have been coming up to me because of that video, and we've had a few viral TikTok moments over our time.
Yeah.
Not as much as I'd like.
Right.
A lot of people know the where Liz Gilly sings "I'm Poor," and she goes, "Hand me my bag. We're going to lunch."
Peasant.
Yeah, like
My latte.
it's TikTok's weird, dude. But like you've
Damn it, we should have wrote a song for today. I totally blew it. Whatever, you have one in the archives from GarageBand.
I do, baby. That's more valuable to me. I don't want new era Jax. I'm good. I'm
No.
good with the 2008
From
version
the
of Jax.
analog.
Yeah, give me reel to reel. Final thoughts there, Daniel?
I think we covered a lot.
Yeah, we did.
We got real estate. We got cancer. You're like, what else can
Yeah,
you possibly ask for? What do you want from me? We got pasta right next to the WAP.
The WAP.
We got a wet ass and pasta.
Should we see if Snoop Dogg works for this final moment?
Yeah, can you shout out the brand? Like what is it?
19 crimes. Can you do the thing in the
Yeah. We can do
19 crimes?
Ding.
He didn't do it. It's just you going ding. Wait, okay, here it is.
It's a wine brand, by the way, that you can scan the QR code
Here we
and
go.
it talks to you.
Yeah, it does. Are you ready? Here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where'd you went to a liquor store to get this?
I went to a Ralph's
Oh, sick.
when I was shopping for the gabagool.
Thank you so much for. I can't believe
Here we
you
go.
cooked
Okay, it's
me.
happening. Download in progress. Don't close the application.
Oh.
But I don't like where that little red line is. That looks like a long periodical time.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's moving. Oh God.
So
This is a lot of anticipation for this moment.
you scanned the barcode that is on this bottle of wine
Yeah.
that Snoop Dogg has made, and then you're gonna meet a prisoner.
Well,
Or no,
No, Snoop tells you a story.
this is Snoop.
Oh, Snoop tells you.
This one specifically is not like a proper prisoner.
Oh,
Why would Snoop Dogg just be on there and then it's just a random prisoner?
I don't know. You're right. So Snoop Dogg will talk to you.
Here
Yeah.
we go.
Oh my God, he's gonna tell us a story.
Wait, now it's making. Okay, here it goes. Ready? But you have to see it. Can you come over here?
Quite a build up on this one.
Wait,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Here it
yeah.
is. Can you come here?
Yeah, but I
So you need to see him talk.
I'll be able to hear it.
Here it goes.
I believed in myself when the world tried to train it.
Make it louder.
Okay, I'm trying. Here, wait. It's as loud as it goes. I'll put it on the mic, but I have to. Oh God, I don't have the arm muscle for this. What the heck? Scan label. It had it. Shit. This is really not a great endorsement.
this is sad.
For
This is-
19 crimes. This is horrible. Wait.
They may sue us and ask us never to share this with anyone.
Okay, here it goes. I'm not moving.
Dog not to.
Oh,
Gotta thank myself for that. I already did. But I'm gonna do it again.
Cool. That was it, really.
that's it?
Oh my
I mean,
God,
there's-
that's what the.
No, every time you scan it, he says something different. But you can't see it because he's talking in it. Like, literally, he's moving on the label.
Okay, so the way this works is you use your phone as like a lens.
Exactly, and it
the,
talks.
the wine bottle speaks to you.
Exactly. Well, yeah.
Did you pay extra for that feature?
No.
Okay, that's good.
It's free. I don't pay extra for anything.
At JaxWritesSongs, full name. Wait, your legal name is JAX?
It's Jay Quellen.
What?
Cool ass name.
Jacqueline. I'm dead.
Oh,
Like,
J-
what?
jeez.
You don't remember that skit? Aaron, Balake, Key and Peele? You know.
Carlos
Carlos,
is
get in there.
take my job.
You're done. You're done. Yeah.
Please listen.
Follow me as Jay Quellen Writes Songs at TikTok.com.
No, it's Jax Writes Songs.
That's true.
And yeah, follow her, please. And I thank you so much for hanging out with us today. And come back album time,
Thank you for
please.
having me. Will you please come over, all of you
Yes.
guys, including you?
Carlos
It's
is like,
I've never met you, but you're welcome to come over for the sauce. We can make it. We can barbecue at my place.
Oh.
Who's
I'm
in?
sick.
You're in?
Yeah,
You're
yeah, I'm in.
You come to the valley for me?
oh, I will go. Yeah, duh.
Well.
We have a doggy play date.
Oh, what kind of dog?
A little corgi chihuahua and a German shepherd.
Oh, both those dogs will fuck my dog up.
What kind of dog you got?
He's like a golden doodle, but he's just like super confused all the time.
Just living in a state
Ultimate
of confusion.
beta, like really just takes it from everybody. Doesn't. He's very lost. It's kind of similar to me. like, you're doing great.
That's gorgeous.
Anyway, okay, we did it.
Jax Writes Songs. Follow her.